Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have 11 movie reviews to go over today. One streaming and then 10 physical. I'm gonna do all the physical first and I'll do the streaming one last. So, I finally got around to watching Malignant. So, this is about a woman is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens when she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities. So if I go in more detail about exactly what's going on with her, it'll give away most of the movie, but I won't go into that part. So she's seeing this weird creature type person tormenting her, killing people around her. She doesn't know what the hell is going on, and then apparently she had like a imaginary friend growing up as a child. Like, more to it, I'm not going to give that away because it ties in with what's going on, but it's not what you think either. But yeah, there's a lot of terrifying, creepy scenes throughout this movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. Nothing spectacular that will change the genre, of course, but I had fun with it. I don't really want to tell you what the thing is, but it's worth a watch for sure. Even if you like James Wan movies, you'll definitely enjoy this one. It's a little long though. It's like 111 minutes. It didn't seem to drag for me though, so I enjoyed it. So definitely check out Malignant if you haven't before. Most people have. Figured I'd take a moment to fully watch this movie, An Hour to Kill, with my man What Movie One, Brendan, Luna Meow, and their friend, what is his name? I always forget his name. The other guy. This was directed by his What Movie One's friend Aaron Carter. This is an anthology movie. The wraparound is two assassins. They have an hour to kill between hits. So they were entertaining each other by sharing horror stories to one another. Valkyrie's Bunker is the first story about an abandoned Nazi bunker. Massacre, which is basically massacre without the M. Massacre. That's the one with Brendan. His name is Gabe. That's right. Gabriel. So yeah, Brendan, Gabriel, and Luna are in that one. I really enjoyed that one. I've seen it before though on his YouTube channel. And then Hog Hunters, that was an interesting one as well. So if you guys have like time to kill, more than an hour, this one's like 96 minutes, but if you guys have an hour and a half to kill, definitely give this a watch. If you guys like What Movie One, I definitely would recommend this one. I got this off of Macari for like $9. Yes, it's an on-demand disc, but it's just the same as the insert. The cover art is the same as the disc, but definitely recommend it. Next one up here is one that I just picked up at Second and Charles like last week, a week ago or a week and a half ago. I watched Killing Mr. Griffin. This is a TV movie from 1997 with Amy Jo Johnson, Mario Lopez, and a bunch of other late 20-year-olds playing high school students. This is based off of a novel by Lewis Duncan. This is like kind of like the opposite of Teaching Mrs. Tingle. Basically, they're teaching Mr. Griffin He is a strict teacher who won't tolerate any crap from kids. So what do the kids do? They kidnap him and they leave him out in this wooded area in this shed, and he dies. And they want to know what the hell happened to him. I'm not going to give it away, but someone finds something in the shed where they have him, and then they just take it from him, so he doesn't have a certain thing that he needs in order to survive. But they didn't know that, so anyway. Yeah, this movie is really messed up for sure. It is a TV movie. It's only 89 minutes. It's not very certain scenes are not very thorough. They're kind of just like you assume things are happening when they're not actually showing you that they're happening. But not a bad TV movie. I've seen better. I've seen worse. But this one's out of print, and I looked it up, and it goes for a weird amount of money. But I got this for $4, so. It is a full screen, and it does have the old chapter index inside. Decent artwork on the disc. I finally got around to watching The First Power with Lou Diamond Phillips. Highly recommend this one. I had fun with it. The guy that plays the Pentagram Killer, Jeff Kober, he's kind of annoying. But it's a fun movie. It's got Tracy Griffith. And if you keep your eyes open, you'll see that, crap, what is his name? Chop Top's in here. Has a little small scene in here. He plays a bartender. You don't really recognize him though, but if you look close enough, Bill Moseley, you'll recognize him. So, recommend that one. This was a tough watch. I enjoyed this movie, but I don't think I'm going to keep it in the collection. It's Compliance. This is a Dollar Tree special. At least it was. I don't know if you can find the DVD now, but the Blu-ray, I can never find it anymore. So this is based on a true story. Basically, there's this guy who would call chain restaurants throughout the U.S. and complain that someone that was working the register, and he would give them like a description of the person, and it would match up to the person behind the counter, saying that so-and-so stole money out of this customer's purse, and I'm a cop and I have witnesses. And he would tell the managers at the places to hold their employee hostage, have them stripped down, and look for the money, and they just torture them. And this movie goes further than that. He tells the guys to do certain things to her, and the guy that's on the phone is a total creep. And this one guy goes way too far with it, and ends up raping her, which is really tough to watch. Actually, it doesn't show it, but it's it's just you assume that it's happening. But shit like this happened in real life in 2004. This guy would call over 70 different chains in the U.S. and he would get away with this shit. So this movie was done well, for sure. I was entertained. I was shocked. I was appalled. I don't think I'd watch it again, though. I really wouldn't. Okay, so we had Valentine's Day come around, so I watched 2 movies. I watched The Loved Ones, which is not really a Valentine's movie per se, but this girl is like crazy. So she asks, her name's Lola. She asks Brent to go to the prom, And he says no. He has another girlfriend, so well, that pisses her off. So she and her parents kidnap the boy and terrorize him, and they basically want to kill him, turn him into a zombie. But turns out this isn't the first time she's done this shit. She has like all these other ex-boyfriends in her basement, in the dungeon, I guess you could say. And she's just fucking crazy. Excuse my language, but I had fun with this movie though. It's a good Australian horror film from 2009. Does not have a Blu-ray release here in the US, but if I were to pick up, they were to have one, I would pick it up for sure and upgrade. So I highly recommend The Loved Ones if you haven't seen it before. There's another one that's an underrated Valentine's Day slasher. We got Lover's Lane here from 1999. This is one of Anna Faris's first films. She is in this movie, not for very long, but she is one of the main girls in the film. So basically it's just your typical 13 years ago on Valentine's Day, two young lovers were brutally murdered at Lover's Lane. The killer, a maniac wielding a steel hook, was arrested by the police and committed to a nearby mental hospital for the criminally insane, but the murders left a permanent mark on two families. The dead lovers were married, but not to each other. It's now Valentine's Day again, and the hook has escaped. Two young children each lost a parent on that fateful day 13 years ago. Both kids are approaching the age where members of the opposite sex are becoming interesting and are part of a group of friends heading for a party at Lover's Lane. It's very low budget. It's a decent film. I thought it was pretty good for what it was. I've seen it a couple times now over the years. Never gets old. Definitely would love to see a Blu-ray release of this. I'm not sure if it will happen, but this is put out by Warner Brothers and Civil Pictures. So I don't know if Warner Archive would put this out on Blu-ray, but yeah, the artwork on the disc isn't the greatest. It's just, you know, that. But I recommend it if you guys haven't seen it. I was bored one night and I threw this on, and I realized that one of my other Instagram friends was watching it too, so it's weird. Another TV movie, Strays, from 1991. It was about a bunch of feral cats owning a house, and these people move into the house, and the cats are very territorial, and they don't want you there. That's for sure. Especially the one main cat here. I don't think it has a name though, but reminded me of Church quite a bit from Pet Sematary. So there you go. This was written by Sean Cassidy. You know, the actor, pop star, and yeah. It was fun. It's a short film though. It's only 83 minutes long. Like I said, it was a TV movie from 1991. Not bad. Not bad. Speaking of TV, this is another Dollar Tree special here. This is Camp Wilderness Volume 1. Now before I talk about this, so it says runtime 165 minutes on the back. That's not right. I think that would include Volume 2 as well, because this is only a little over an hour, like an hour and 15 minutes. So I would say Volume 2 would probably be about the same, maybe a little bit more. But anyway, there is a Volume 2 out there. I haven't seen a Dollar Tree yet. You can buy it on Amazon for like $5.99, but I'll just wait. This was like a very short-lived TV series in 1977, 1978, where these kids would just go travel the world, I guess. They were part of a camp, but they would not necessarily be in camp all the time. But anyway, this has 3 episodes. The first episode is about the kids go to like an abandoned mine shaft, and they're looking for gold, and they come across some dynamite. So the prospector there has to take care of it because it's all dried out and it could go off at any moment. They do end up finding gold, but not in the shaft. They find it in the river. This is a very educational film, TV series from the late 70s. Nothing great, but it's still, interesting. Episode 2 is about the kids go to Hawaii for a week on Christmas vacation, and they enjoy a week of surfing and skateboarding, and they learn stuff from the Hawaiian kids. Not bad. And then the third episode is about one of the kids tells a story about a Native American kid named Joshua, whose father was attacked by a bear. No, I'm sorry, no. Let me go back there. So the kid's name is Joshua. His father was an early settler, was attacked by a bear. Joshua sets out to seek help and is found by it says an Indian boy, but that's because back then they called them Indians, but they're Native Americans. So he's found by a Native American boy who guides them to a doctor, and he gets help. That was a pretty cool episode as well. Would I recommend this? If you're interested, I wouldn't say it's great by any means, but it's definitely stuff that kids would probably watch. Younger kids would probably watch in the 70s. Our disc art's not the greatest either, but the picture quality on this isn't very great either. It's grainy, but it's all right. This movie was pretty interesting too. I watched Splinter here from 2008. This is a very strange film. You don't necessarily... Alright, so a young couple retreats to the wilderness for a romantic camping weekend. But the trip quickly spirals into a nightmare when they are carjacked by an escaped convict and his girlfriend. Thrown together by chance, no one can imagine the terrifying horror that awaits the two couples at a remote and isolated gas station. Doesn't go in detail about what's going on, but there's this little weird creature, kind of like a... It doesn't really show it, so it's it looks like a porcupine, kind of, and it basically throws its spores at you, and you turn into like a zombie type creature, and you just want to kill, basically. It doesn't talk about any backstory to why this thing is doing what it's doing. Sometimes that's a good thing. But yeah, this movie was done really, really well. There's only 6 people in this whole film. So, very, very interesting. I would definitely recommend it for a creature feature. There's a boatload of special features on here too. There's a feature on here about the Splinter creature. There's a creature concept art gallery, something called The Wizard, building the gas station, shooting digitally, Oklahoma weather. So this was shot in Oklahoma. How to make a Splinter pumpkin. Look at Splinter and commentary with the director and the cast and the crew. Got a lot of special features on here. This is put up by Malignant. No reverse art, but the disc art is pretty much the same as the cover. So that is it for the stack anyway. So there's my little small stack. And then we're gonna talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I watched it last night. What I can say is there were brutal kills, and the bus scene was probably the best scene in the whole movie. I didn't care if anyone lived or died, especially lived. I didn't care if anybody lived, because they were all idiots, every single one of them. Leatherface was alright. Not believable about, you know, certain people's death scenes. Leatherface is what, 60 years old, at least 60, 70 years old, and he's lifting people in the air. He's an orphan. I never didn't understand that concept either. And the actress that played Sally looks like director Mick Garris. I'm not the only one that saw that. As you can tell, I didn't really care for the film. That might be an understatement. A lot of brutal kills, though. I definitely enjoyed the brutal kills in the bus scene, for sure. Other than that, I could care less about the movie, honestly. I was not thrilled with it. And I saw that Alvarez produced it. What the hell did you do, bud? I know you didn't direct it, or you didn't. I don't know if you wrote it either, but you did wonders with Evil Dead and Don't Breathe. So I don't know if you had any insight in for this movie, but highly do not recommend this movie. But you can watch it anyway. It's only 82 minutes long. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this quick little review video, and I will catch you later in the week. Take care.